welcome to the Party Poker Irish Poker Championship, coming to you from the Radisson Hotel in Galway, Ireland, and the first major tournament of the year. Take it away, fellas. We thought it fitting that this year's theme is the Irish pub, since many of our players have qualified in pubs around the country, and everything you see here is traditional and original. Now, over here we have our feature table. We're going to expect some great play and great players over the course of the series till we work our way down to one final feature table. Since many of our players are from around the world, let's see who's here.
Just registered for the tournament, looking forward to playing it. Played here last year, really enjoyed it. Good to see a lot more of my English compatriots coming over to play this year, and hopefully it should be a much bigger event.
The IPC means everything to me because at one stage I used to be considered the best player in Ireland, and now I'm not even the best player in my house. As long as I last longer than Veronique, I got bragging rights for a month or two.
Nobody don't need that.
But now you know.
Okay.
Super tournament, IPC, and first tournament of the year, so everyone can get really geared up for it. And it doesn't matter what way you're running, you're starting this one afresh. It's a new year, so I think everyone is coming in confident to this tournament.
I'm excited about it because I didn't get to play in it last year. I had to go to a wedding, so this year hopefully get to the final table. That's the target.
Pretty big field here. I'm not going to get too excited. I'll be trying my best to win, but I'm not that bothered if I go out, because I know it's going to be such good fun anyway.
They play a little different poker in Ireland than they do some of the other places in the world, because it's hard to put them on a hand. They like to gamble a lot over here in Ireland.
2008 was quite a good year, yeah. It started off, I had a good end to 2007, and yeah, marvellous. I'm even on the year, so that's a good start. And yeah, I like this tournament. I came here last year and it was great fun and well organised. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You know, walking around here last night and just seeing so many familiar faces, the amount of people that have travelled here for this tournament, it's going to be an absolute blast. When you talk about poker in Ireland, you typically don't have to look further than Dublin. But when you want to talk about the spirit of the game, the camaraderie, then Galway can rival any other county in Ireland. And that's why I'm here. I know that's why this man is here. So we're excited and looking forward to it.
I'm usually worried about myself because I'm the one most likely to knock me out. But I had a good night's sleep, so I'm pretty fresh.
I always enjoy coming to Ireland, like playing against the Irish players. They all pack the game in great spirits and always have a good time.
What normally happens is, like we bring the best players in the world over to Galway to play this tournament, and they all come in 2 or 3 days early and end up partying and the whole lot. So I want to predict that somebody we've never heard of, who's been in bed for at least 3 hours in the last 2 or 3 days, he's probably going to win.
That could be me then.
Oh, okay.
Exciting first televised table for this second Irish Poker Championship. In seat number 1, all the way from the US of A, it's the cowboy, Kenna James. Huge slew of titles to his name, but his first jaunt over to Irish poker. In seat number 2, French hopes will be riding on Veronique Gordon. This lady has had a slew of results online, a few televised results as well. She'll be excited to be here for her second year in a row. In seat number 3, the big name on the table tonight. He is the current Irish Open champion. This is Neil Channing from the UK. He's been a grinder on the scene, but in the last 2 years he has won everything that's not nailed down. In seat number 4, from Poland, a former kickboxing champion, Agnieszka Rylik. She's turned to televised poker and has had a big slew of results, including knocking out the Devilfish himself in a televised tournament. He's in this tournament tonight.
Ready. When I started training kickboxing, I was 15 years old, and many times I was world champion, European champion in kickboxing. Started professional boxing. I started playing poker 1 year ago. Party Poker invited me for my first tournament. This was a late night poker in Cardiff. I get to a semi-final. And this was a very nice. I won with the big poker player like David Elliott, David Fish. I'm enjoying play poker in Galway last year. I am better than last year because Galway was my second tournament, but my experience now is much bigger, and I think it's better. I am patient poker player, but you know I am fighter. When I feel the right moment, I fight.
In seat number 5, the defending champion, Irish poker champion, Jude Ainsworth, a local lad from Galway, made a huge explosion onto the poker scene last year and is back to defend his title in the new year. In seat number 6, also from Poland, this is Krzysztof Gluszko. Bit of an unknown, but Poland has been on the poker radar for quite some time. In Eastern Europe, we'll see what he can do on TV. In seat number 7, they call him Paul the Jeweler, and he is jeweled tonight. And rounding out the table in seat number 8, this is the current Irish Poker Tour champion from Kildare, Jay Renahan. Let's have a review of the ranking of hands that every 5-card poker hand falls into. Bottom of the ladder is high card only. Higher than that is a pair. 2 pairs is higher still. And 3 of a kind up on the ladder, sometimes called a set. A straight is 5 cards in a row of any suit. A flush, 5 cards of the same suit in any order. A full house is 3 of a kind plus a pair. 4 of a kind is self-explanatory. And higher than that is a straight flush. That's 5 cards all in a row, all of the same suit. Royal flush is top of the pops. That's a straight flush, ace high.
I'm here now with Tournament Director Donal McNeasa. Donal, tell me, what has the turnout been like this year?
It's fantastic. The recession doesn't seem to have hit Ireland at all, where poker is alive and well in Galway. Now, if you excuse me, I've just got to start the tournament.
Yep.
Players, dealers, get ready. Shuffle up and deal. We're in play.
There is the call from Tournament Director Donal McNeasa. And this is going to be a great tournament. I'm joined tonight by the Director of Operations for the IPC. But since last year, he also became one of Ireland's newest poker millionaires, Fintan Gavin. And Fintan, this is the first tournament of the year for most of it. This is everybody's favorite tournament, really.
Hiya, Jesse. Delighted to be here. Yes, all roads lead to Galway every January. This is the #1 event of the month and the first tournament of the year.
And you can just see by the big names that have turned out how much they like it here. I mean, most of the players have been here for 3 days partying it away for the New Year's, haven't they?
Yeah, it started about a week ago, and I think it's going to go on another week.
The very first hand folded around to Kenna James in the small blind, the raise to Veronique Gordon's big blind, and he takes the pot. And he's now taken his first pot of the new year.
I think there's about 15 countries represented here, Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, on this feature table alone, we've got USA, France, England,
Pass.
Poland.
Pass. Pass.
2 Irish players.
Pass.
15 countries. That's
Yeah, we had snow.
fantastic.
Can you believe they had snow in Las Vegas? And the road was closed all the way. It was unbelievable. I was driving.
It's folded around to the blinds. We've yet to see Jay Renahan play a pot.
No worries.
Yeah, I played against him on the Irish Poker Tour. Very, very solid, very tight, conservative in style. An absolute gentleman to boot. He won the tour in the end.
It'll help him to be conservative here. Maro's flopped the flush on him
Check.
and is slow playing this one all the way. An 8 would be a disaster card for Renahan.
And the airport was close.
But I think Maro, despite all his efforts, is not going to get anything out of Jay. And you think Paul will show this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to. No.
Is that a word, Parisian?
Yeah, that's it.
This feature table's got some star power to it.
I just read it one time, or I saw it.
We have quite a few.
Which of these
Praise.
players feels
125.
the most comfortable
Pass.
in an Irish pub? I think
Pass.
Ken has had some pints in his
Pass.
days. Certainly hasn't been
Pass.
shy since he's been over here.
Pass. Call.
This is his third pot raising in a row.
Put twos and threes
Fenton.
out there and see what they do.
He's starting to move his chips around.
Yeah.
He wants to get involved. Again, Paul Morrow
players.
in this hand.
As is Jay from the big blind. And it's a nice little flop for Kenna.
Check. Check.
Aces and 10s and 8s with the ace kicker.
He'll bet it out.
Yeah.
250.
Just in case they don't have it.
You know, Kenna is one of those guys. He can be a chip builder, and I think he's sort of.
Call.
He's after getting called here, Jesse, from Paul.
Pass.
Paul thinks the ace high might be good, and you know he's seen that
players.
Ken has raised 3 hands in a row. And do you think Paul's got a move on his mind here? Is he checked?
Well, that's a good turn card for Paul.
Check.
All right, give us a...
Check.
Geez, can't even get a drink out of it.
Mara's actually drawing dead here, and
Check.
You can bet 1,000.
1,000.
now that's a bet that is more than the size of the pot.
Experience.
It's a brilliant bet.
He's trying to get called by some kind of
brilliant bet.
mediocre hand, isn't
Yes.
he? And he thinks that Paul might be a sort of a curious kind of player.
He might put Paul on a 10
I'm
also.
gonna put my head down. Let me know what he does, will you? I can't take it.
It's a brilliant bet.
And I mean, the fact that Mara's actually thinking about this, he thinks that bet is so big.
I think your ace 10's good enough, can it?
Oh, how
call.
about that?
I think your ace 10's good enough.
Really? You must have 10 jack, huh?
Will Kenna show?
Pass. Pass.
Now I got a raise for that.
Pass.
You know, the atmosphere in this tournament, of course, it's going to be serious because it is a big buy-in tournament, but
Raise.
you just
175.
feel everybody's having fun. Everyone's just delighted to be here. There's something about, you know, playing on January the 2nd where the possibilities are endless. And we got action here. It was a limp from Maro, a raise from Jay, and Veronique's called with the same hand, ace-queen in the big blind. We're 3 ways.
This is Vero's first hand.
She's not going to get out of line with ace-queen too early.
Not on that board.
300.
She's bet it.
That's a great bet.
She's going to get a call off Paul.
Call.
And I don't think Jay can call this. I mean, he knows it's the first hand Veronique's
Absolutely not,
played.
yeah.
And in fact, Paul's made a pretty speculative call here. I mean, as it turns out, the 6s are good, but with this power that Veronique is showing, you have to consider that she... Oh, my gosh.
What a card.
Check. Check. Check.
He checks his full house.
So you hope it doesn't...
An ace or queen would have been a killer card there for Vero.
675.
675.
She's done very well, Veronique, to shut down after getting called by Paul. I think she realized that, I mean, he's very liable to have a jack in that spot, wasn't he?
Well, once he called, it was the end of the hand for Vero.
Veronique plays most of her poker in the Aviation Club in France.
I started playing on the internet, small tournaments, and then recently I started playing way more live tournaments. I played a lot in Las Vegas, and I love it. Well, when you meet Irish poker players and in general Irish people, especially if you're French, it takes a while to adapt. And then you can start enjoying the crack, as they say. I'm a translator for a living. These days I seem to play poker more and more and do less and less translating, I'm afraid. So it must be going okay. Oh, you're asking me about my gambling problem about playing tournaments on the net. Well, it's pretty bad because I play most nights. And well, it's getting a problem in my couple, in my personal life, because I normally play in bed, and when my husband wants to come to bed, well, he's got to wait till I finish to play the tournament. So, well, I'll have to change something.
My name's Paul Marrow. I'm from Liverpool. I'm a professional poker player. I've played cards all my life, and I heard about this Texas Hold'em. I tried a little bit online first, which is about 3.5 years ago, and then heard there was the Irish Poker Championships. Came across to Dublin, and I lasted 13 hands. And I was so frustrated, but I'd never seen anything like it. You know, the atmosphere was just absolutely fantastic, and basically I was hooked. It's a very, very, very easy game to learn, right? And you can learn it in 5 minutes. To master it, you've got to be around for years and years and years. I'm a great believer there's no wrong way to play a card. A guy who plays his cards plays his cards. It's only your opinion that he's played them wrong. The hardest thing about poker is the travelling. You're working for 10 hours a day. If you've got a 3-day tournament, you might do 25, 30 hours and finish it with absolutely nothing at the end of it. Yes, I do enjoy it. Getting to bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, getting up at 12, missing breakfast, having to go and find somewhere. But you always find somebody who's in exactly the same situation. So you go and find a cafe somewhere, and there's 2 or 3 people sat there, and they've all got exactly the same story, how they got beat. Nobody ever tells you how they won with the ace-10. They only ever tell you how they lost with the ace-10. I love being stood in a lift, right, and I've got 2 odd shoes on. And there's a guy stood at the side of me, right, and he's looking at my shoes, but he doesn't say nothing. But then I'll say to him, different, aren't they? And all of a sudden you're making a conversation. It's fun. It's fun. It's a topic of conversation, and people do talk about it.
The war of words is just beginning now.
Did you bring that one too, Fat?
Got 2 ladies on this table, and actually there's quite a few accomplished female players in this field. May Meseras from Spain here, of course. You'll be seeing her at some point. And very, very...
It's interesting. Christoph hasn't played a hand, Jesse, since that bluff was called down.
175? I happen to have it. Hold on just a second.
Call.
Yeah, there's no reason to be too eager, is there?
Pass.
But Paul Marrow, who's raised this pot up, with the Jack-4 suited, and he's gotten called in 2 spots. He is an action player, isn't he? And Ken has got him in his sights.
He's playing everything.
Now that's kind of under the heading of a huge
Check.
Flop for James.
Wow.
A top pair
Look at
flush
that.
draw.
It's a simultaneously check. That means good things for me. I'm going to bet here. I'm going to bet 525.
I mean, these are the kind of spots you love with the suited connectors, aren't they?
It's a beautiful flop. And he's going to get called here.
I think he might be getting raised. Those yellow chips are worth 1,000.
Raise.
No.
1375 total.
1275?
13.
1375.
this is a big decision here for Kenna James. I mean, Paul's played this kind of like he has an overpair, hasn't he?
That's going through Kenna's mind.
Or a set, or
1375. All right. I'm with you.
I mean, he obviously doesn't want to fold, but re-raise had to cause his mind. And I mean, all of a sudden, this pot is now big enough that these guys could be playing for stacks.
It's the biggest pot we've had so far. What a turn.
He's hit the flush. I was going to say, if Kenna James missed there, was he prepared to call a big bet? But he didn't miss. You gotta love that flush.
He has to check here.
1750.
1750.
Hand is over.
Yeah. Slow down, Paul.
No way.
He's not. And this has been brewing. I know we've only been playing for about a half hour.
He's just called here.
This has been brewing.
Bottom pair.
Kenna has been at him. He's been taunting him. He's been talking at him.
Serious.
And I mean, is Maro prepared to call another bet?
I don't think Kenna's going to bet this. Not with the board paired. Surely not.
31.
I mean, there's actually
He does. It's a value bet, yeah.
There's actually a couple hands that beat Kenna James out there, but oh my gosh!
He's raised 6,200. 6,200.
Kenna just tried to swallow and there was nothing there. His mouth is dry. He thinks he might
See-through coin, huh? Give me, huh?
He thinks he might be up against a full house.
He did not need to bet that.
That looks like a set, doesn't it? I mean, all KJ can beat is a bluff here.
That's it.
Is he prepared to go broke this early in the tournament? There's 16,000 in this pot.
Paul's heart is racing a million miles an hour.
What a bluff! The sheer audacity.
He's put almost all his chips in here.
I mean, if Kenna wants to roll this back, I mean, is there any way that Paul could be raising here with some kind of hand that he thinks is the best hand but isn't? You know, like an ace-king with the ace of spades, or it has to be a full house or nothing, doesn't it?
That's it.
Or maybe a nut flush, or...
Huh.
And I mean, for KJ...
Really? That eats full, huh?
For Kenna James...
That is a cold deck right there.
If he calls here and loses, he'll be down to about, I think about under 3,000. He can fold here and still have about, 7, 8 on his stack.
Cold deck.
He's not going to call.
He's going to
Jesse.
pass.
Pass.
He passed it.
Wow, what a pot.
Paul the jeweler bluffed him.
This,
Well done, Paul.
Thing back, will you?
He showed
He
it.
shows it. That is class.
Jack 4?
That is class.
Oh my. Kenna wants to know how far it is to the airport.
Perfect time to show your cards.
That's the first time that's ever been lucky for me.
The table is stunned.
Not only is his chip stack decimated, but psychologically now Kenna is in bits.
And you know, Fitton, you called that out perfectly. I mean, you said, you know, against a really dangerous player like that, you better know what you're doing when you bet the river for value, right?
But when the river card came king, the board paired. You didn't need to bet.
You have got to be careful, don't you?
350.
Raise. 350 total.
And
Pass.
Kenna James. Now, I don't know if he's tilting or not, but you know that he's feeling a little bit hot under the collar. That's poker. And, wow, you feel for Kenna. That came out of left field.
Massive, massive boost for Paul. Doubling his stack on a stone cold bluff.
You know that feeling, don't you? You feel like you're trying to milk the guy, you got the best of it, and then he puts you to the test, and your heart hits the roof of your mouth, and it just keeps on sailing. Kenna needs to take He's like, I can't believe it. He's saying, how could the guy have even called me on the turn? But Paul was calling the bluff on the river, wasn't he?
Pure class.
Madness.
Check. And check.
Now, I mean, does Kenna have the game to come back from this? I mean, does he?
Oh, without a
settle down
doubt.
here?
Well, it'll take him a few minutes now. He needs to just relax.
He's
not get too involved.
He's checked the flop here with top pair, and
He's top pair,
he's
yeah.
induced a bluff now.
And Christoph is out of the traps. Second pair is going to call him. And Kenna is going to call also, I think.
Yeah, this is a bit tricky here.
650 is going to find out what's going on.
2050.
You like that raise?
It's brilliant. He checked to see what was happening. He got a bluff, he got a call. He feels he's the best hand.
This is the second time now they've induced Christoph Glusko to bluff by L checking early, and this may be an exploitable sort of flaw in his game.
Yeah, he's being kicked back into his box now. It's a bad start for him.
Now, what kind of decision does Jay have
Well,
here?
Jay might read Kenna on tilt here.
It doesn't look like an ace, does it? I mean, if you're Jay, do you think maybe Kenna's got a big diamond draw? Or?
Oh, he's giving up his...
Tough way to make a living, very hard.
He got an extra 1,300 chips there.
He really did, didn't
he? Got my dander up now.
See that roaring fire there, and Kenna's saying he
Pass.
feels like
Pass.
Paul grabbed him a
Is it right through here?
poker out of there, a flaming poker, and stabbed him with it.
I'm just
Call.
kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It was a joke.
Pass.
Agnieszka's limped here, and everyone will
That race
recognize that she's been a bit on the
Going.
conservative side pre-flop so far.
Yeah, she doesn't get involved too much. She likes her aces. She'll play any ace, but besides that, she'll keep rather quiet.
Check.
Second pair for Jay.
150.
There's a nice little bet. Oh, excuse me, it's two pair, isn't it?
7-10.
Yeah.
Call.
I think he's going to find out where he's at, but he knows he's ahead. He's got every idea that he is.
Aga's called here with a good shot.
150.
Which is pretty much what
Call.
Paul's got. Any card that doesn't pair the board over the 10.
Players.
A jack or a king.
Oh, there you go.
Check.
Now, what kind of trouble is this for Jay Renahan?
Check.
That's a brilliant check by Jay.
Even
Straight
though
comes,
300.
he can call here.
Call.
I mean, even though he's got two pair, he recognizes it's not that strong. There's a lot
this
of
is it.
cards out there that beat him, aren't there?
It'd be very hard for him to call a big raise.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, bingo.
Check.
Full house.
How much is he going to get off Aga here? I think she might just call. You know that, Jesse? She has a habit of calling very big hands.
I mean, from Agnieszka's point of view, it does look more like Renahan's got 3 10s and a full house, doesn't it? I mean, would you blame her for raising here?
No, she just flat calls.
It's a good call.
Yeah.
It was a nice card on the river for Jay. He's bet it's safe here. He hasn't gotten greedy, and he's going to get called twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great pot.
Oh.
That's a 3 grand pot for Jay.
Boy, Agnieszka's going to be gutted. Beautiful day out on Galway Bay.
Practicing that for a month.
Do that shaking the ball.
Man, did they set me up? Is that like a setup? Was I set
Very
up?
nice.
He even give me a gold piece?
Yeah.
I mean, give me it's a joke.
A lot of players celebrate the new year by taking a walk down the beach there in Galway Bay, don't they?
Yeah, promenade and Salt Hill.
Promenade, yeah.
Pass.
Salt Hill.
Pass.
We'll even go swimming.
Raise. 125. Call.
I feel like the golden seal has been cracked here at this table. And Ken is on the button with said, it's a pretty random hand he's got.
Nice flop for Christoph.
How does he want to play this, Fenton? Just bet and see what's out there?
Well, that's what he seems to be doing. Nice small bet. He may get called here.
Did he say 250 or 450?
Jay has a good shot on a backdoor flush.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously not getting the price on the pot, but
No.
sort of an idea that if he did hit it, could he get paid off? Now, this Krzysztof Glusko, you know a little bit about him yourself.
I played with him in Poland in Warsaw, Jesse. He actually knocked me out of the tournament.
We're here tonight, which is an Irish night in a casino in Warsaw. I mean, how the hell could you ever have thought that was going to happen? But they're qualifying people for the Irish Poker Championship. But I promise you, some of the guys I've talked to at the tables here say they're coming anyway. They don't care whether they win or not.
We all know Polish people love Ireland, and we would like to send our representative from Olympic Casino to Irish Poker Championship. That's our goal, and we are very happy we can do the satellite like that.
It's not going too well. There's a scalp in my head, $500 if they knock me out, and I'm just hanging in by my fingernails.
I am very happy to see Ireland. I will first time.
What is the strategy right now if you're trying to figure out a plan how to deal with this Paul Marrow?
Well, you just need to. You need a monster against him, and you need for him to take the lead in the hand.
So you want to be keeping the pot small until you have something really big, and then try and get paid off.
But he seems to have a great nose for the game. He seems to smell out them hands. He's also made one or two good folds.
I guess he's made this raise trying to sort of isolate Paul, but the fact is that Jay's in the middle of this with quite a strong holding the 2 nines, especially relatively. I mean, it's going to be hard for Kenna to find a flop he likes. Maybe that's one.
Check, check, check,
3 would hit KJ in the belly.
check. 6.
And is this Jay's pot?
Kenna staying for the ride. He's calling 600 to hit that 3.
Yeah, he's got a 3 or an ace to win, but I mean, are there bluffing cards for him? Does he think maybe that? What's going through Jay's head? Does he think he's got the best hand? Is he confident about it?
He's certainly not confident. There's an overcard. There's 2 possible flush draws there.
Pretty much just sort of check with the intention of calling on the river.
I think so. Jay's not going to get too excited with this hand.
No, he's betting this.
He's still betting.
8.
He takes it down. The bet takes it down. Another nice pot.
Good, solid stuff from Jay Renahan, and he's making it pay off.
Might have to be my lucky card mark.
This is a great sort of well-timed raise, isn't it? She realizes that
And they played it just the same. They had
she's going to get respect.
2 players.
You know, aside from guys like Channing and Kenna James and maybe Jude, I mean, Veronique has among the most poker experience on this table.
This is a big flop. Jude has hit top pair. Vero,
200.
being the pre-flop raiser, has hit second pair, so she feels the need to bet it out.
Jude's got kind of a tough decision, doesn't he? I mean, even though he's got top pair, against Veronique, he's not going to get too excited about it, is he?
No.
And, I mean, just wonder if Veronique bets this again. Is Joe going to keep on calling?
Check.
She's done the right thing. Oh, she's hit her card on the river.
Miracle.
Beautiful. She's kind of playing him a bit like a top here, Jude.
He's going to get raised, I think.
250.
Now, that jack did complete a straight. I mean, you could see Jude having queen 10 here.
Yeah, there's 2 possible straights out there.
But on balance, do you think is Veronique going to be better off raising or just calling here on balance?
That's exactly what she's thinking.
You know, if she does raise, will he pay her off with a lot of hands she beats? A great raise if she made it, wouldn't it? Fantastic raise.
Raise. 900 total.
She pulled the trigger.
Nice raise, yeah.
And well sized.
Yeah.
And Jude is going to have trouble figuring this out because obviously, at this stage now, he realizes he can only beat a bluff. Yeah.
Pocket jacks, he said.
But he's a little curious, isn't he?
He wants to call.
Oh, she sized this perfectly.
It's hurting him to call, but he's put his chips in.
100 more, that's 8. 9 total.
He has, and I mean, Veronique played that hand to a T. She's had a lot of experience online, a little bit on TV, and she's come here with an A game today. It all started off, it's all about the fact that they realized she was playing very tight, so she got involved there and got the free cards. This is everything but knives at dawn. Holy Toledo.
$300.
We're going to get some action here, I think.
Oh my gosh, we certainly are. Now,
Cool.
he's just snap call, which is... I like that. I like that call.
He's playing this real slow, isn't he? And this is a chance for Kenna to really get himself in trouble.
Kenna might fancy that hand.
It looks like the radar's up a little bit.
He's just called. There was an opportunity for a squeeze. He did well not to do it.
He did, didn't he? I mean, you know, Christoph obviously hoping there's a re-raise from behind, isn't he?
Yeah,
but,
I like that call. Christoph is going to make money here if a jack high or queen high board comes.
4 to this flop. Pocket kings are out.
Okay, trouble for Jude. He has to bet it.
It's massive trouble for Jude.
He pre-flop raised 100 times out of 100. He continues betting.
And you know, if Christoph gets busy on the flop here, Jude might get all his chips in. Jude's only got about 6,000-7,000.
I don't know, will Jude do his tournament on one pair, Jesse? The way the table has been going, though.
That seems like, to me, like a very dangerous call by Christoph with 2 players behind him.
Yeah.
Finn, what do you think? I mean, would a raise have been a better option there? Or?
I want to win the pot there if I'm Christoph. I want to get rid of everyone else behind me.
It's gone head up now. And, I mean, is Christoph playing this to get Jude to commit all his chips on the turn?
I'm not sure will Jude bet again. Well, there's the 3rd diamond. That will help. That will certainly help Jude. It gives both of them a flush draw.
I mean, from Jude's point of view,
1,200.
he must feel like he's ahead of a lot of hands.
He bets again.
Just look at that look on Christoph's face. Has he gone fitting from slow playing to not actually being sure if he's ahead?
He needs to pull the trigger right here, right now.
Yeah, the kings are good. I mean, would Jude?
He's not laying them down. He just calls.
Jude's got outs. Any diamond, a jack or an ace.
Check bet call here, Jesse, I think.
It's a tricky spot for Jude. I mean, he might want to make like sort of a defensive bet here. You know, Just really thinking about this. It'd be really hard.
There's as much in the pot as he has in a stack.
He was well entitled to take his time there. And what's going through Christoph's head?
He has to bet this.
1,000. And call.
He ended up making a very small bet on the river there.
Yeah. He might have got up to 2,000 or 3,000 there off Jude, I feel.
1,000 bet and called. This pot pretty big, 7,100. Glasgow's going to feel good, but I mean, that pot could have played out a lot of ways, Fenton, where Jude ended up getting knocked out of this tournament.
That's true.
This table has had some chip movement. The guy who's probably moved his chips the least tonight has been Channing. Maybe Jay. Jay's been very steady.
Yeah, very steady, Jay. Jude's going to play this hand.
300.
He doesn't need a pot for his confidence, but kind of to get himself back on track, I'm thinking.
Call. Pass. And call.
KJ calling from the button, and Channing calling from the big blind with two tens.
We're going to have action. Oh, good night. This is very bad news for Jude. With the size of his stack and the way Channing plays, he could be in big trouble here.
It's just another cold deck. I mean, you can take one, you can take two, but... And what is Channing's play right now? Is it going to be a check raise, or is it going to be called? Slow play?
No flush draw out there. It's a monster, let's be honest.
If he puts Jude on an ace... Just going to have a think about it. He knows it's the best.
Whoa. Oh, he's raised him.
Yeah.
12.
Oh, Jude needs to dig so deep here.
He's going to look at his stack. He's got about, well, it looks like he's got about 4,400 there.
Call.
Oh, he's called. That is not good news. If he calls this bet, he's
basically drawn dead right now.
Yeah.
That's actually giving him a couple outs now, 8 or a king. Now he might feel like he has to call no matter what.
Yeah, he's all the chips are going in here.
12.
Jude's going to raise, I think.
It's kind of a dangerous sort of sized bet Channing's made there.
He's just called. That's a good call by Jude.
Well, Jude's still got chips left.
Yeah.
If he doesn't hit on the river, can he get away from this? He's made it straight.
Unbelievable. That is a miracle.
He was 6% on the flop. It's come straight card, straight card.
Oh.
Let's make sure.
Neil is not going to like this.
Oh, well.
Call.
Yeah.
And the defending champion needed a little bit of help to get out of this spot of bother fitting. I mean, it looked like Channing was planning on committing all of Jude's stack to that pot once the flop came down, no matter what.
Unbelievable.
I mean, and that hurt. That's going to set Channing down to like half a stack.
Very nice, Paul.
I like the way a lot of these players are playing now.
If everybody drinks and you don't.
Veronique's playing a fantastic game.
I love her game, yeah. It's aggressive. It's patient, and it's well disciplined.
And you've got to give credit to the defending champion Jude for hanging on in there.
Jude, well done, Jude again. Yeah, he's back.
We want to know what we're doing over here with our
Channing has impressed me also. He has been unlucky
325.
with that set of tens against Jude's runner straight.
I have the feeling that Paul's stack is going to have a lot of volatility during this tournament. He doesn't mind losing a lot of small pots, and he wins the big ones.
That seems to be it, yeah.
Now, he's raised with a 7 deuce, and Vero here, I mean, between re-raising and calling, it is a tough decision. She's out of position here. What would you do? I mean...
Well, against Paul, straight away, I would raise the guy every time.
Just
I
to
want to
define his
find
hand,
out, yeah. He's playing almost every hand. He's playing 70% of hands here.
Well, like you say, and there's could be a couple of flops which are very tough for Viernik to play out of position.
It's not a bad flop for a pair of tens.
He may give her respect.
Check. That's a great card for Vero.
She might just want to play this one very carefully.
A check call is the right move here. She's going to bet it though.
Cool.
That was really, Paul's got really the perfect holding for her to actually bet it and get called, but I think that might be the end of this.
If Vero checks here, and I feel she will.
Say the dangerous thing about betting here is if he raises.
Raises, this is it. She does bet it.
And we know he's capable.
He looks like he wants to play it.
I just wonder, I mean...
Is it a raise?
Is Vero... Has she made this bet to call a raise? Is she trying to induce a bluff? Look at this.
He's lining it up. He raises.
28.75.
This guy is on real.
Yes. Now, it's not a huge raise. I think it's about...
18.75.
It's just under 3 times the bet. Oh, but it's a tough call.
Oh, he gets away with it again.
Yeah.
You didn't have the kingdom.
He is. That is 7 deuce. He's won.
Neither did I.
Join us next time as we bring you more legends of the felt, including poker ambassador Mike Sexton, French player and World Series of Poker bracelet winner Claude Cohen, and Dave Devilfish Ulliott. See you then.